Okay, we are live! Yay! Turn this up. So I weeks for me. I don't know what the stars are. Please ignore the stars, guys. Okay, don't worry about the stars. I don't know why it's doing that. I am actually pretty like electronically like good, but lately not so much, but that's fine. All right, so I'm super excited today because we're going to start our business plan. And like I said, it's supposed to be on Zoom, but it's not for today because I couldn't get the daggone thing to work. And I'm not going to waste my time trying to get it to work instead of being on here with you guys. All right, so hopefully you have printed out your business planner. I printed myself a blank one so that we could go over it together and kind of like fill it in as we go. So if you are watching this later, that is fine. Or if you want to follow along with me, you can do that. The number one thing that I recommend though is starting with a pencil because what you'll find is as you go, you're almost like brainstorming. And so it makes it easier if you're doing that with a pencil. All right. So And what I like about this planner too is I got off of Etsy and so I'm sharing with you guys. But what I like is that it's like not confined to like a year, so you can reuse the same planner every year, and it's going to help you to know what you're doing, right? So you're not trying to learn a new material every time. But then also it changes. You can like reflect on and look back at it. I don't know what my hair is doing, Tyler. This cat, I tell. Oh my gosh, get your cat. Excuse me, ma'am. And I will tell you that for mine personally, I punched holes into it. And so that way I could just like flip through it as I went. And so I'm going to go grab that as well. So this is what I did. And I almost like brought it back to like our high school, college days and like tabbed it. But that was mainly for like you guys and as I like went through. And so it's on point with like what your guys' looks like. So like the brand is where we're going to start. And so just like keynotes and stuff like that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use this as my reference. And then we're just going to jump right into this. I wish I had that doc thing so I could show my paper. The oh, it's over there in that drawer, but it's always so crazy. I'll do it next time. Next time I'll have it where you can actually like see my paper better. But we gotta get through this first meeting to make the rest easier. Okay, so the business plan is your first page. If you don't have this yet, you can go back to my original post, and I did post the document in there. And so the first page is the brand. All right, so brand strengths. So this is going to be where you're going to hone in on who you are as a consultant. So not who Heather is, not who your upline is, not anybody of that sort. This is going to be you. What are your personal strengths? What are you good at? Okay, so for me, I am a work at home mom is what I'm going to call it because I'm not a stay-at-home mom because I have to work. I don't just get to do laundry. Um, but so your products and your services. So obviously you know what your products and your services are. So that should be fairly simple to fill in there. You know, you have warmers and wax and oils and diffusers. And I would say almost focus on the products that you tend to sell. So don't just be like, oh, all the products in the catalog. Like what do you typically push on your social media or to your customers? Or somebody asks you what Scentsy, like what is your go-to products that you want to talk about? Because those are going to be the ones that you're going to be the most passionate about. And it doesn't matter if they like it or not. If you have enough passion about something, people are going to jump in on that. And the next thing that it's going to ask you is the competitors one, two, and three. And so, like my brand, so that's going to be like your name, or if you have a team name, or if you have a business name. If you don't have one yet, make one up, or just put your personal name there. And then, who are your competitors? For me, I'm going to say that my competitors are other commercial industries that sell fragrance products. It could be other direct sales companies that sell products and or just direct sales in general because they can recruit. Typically, people who join direct sales, they could join any direct sales. They just chose to do Scentsy. And another competitor could be another consultant, even like we work together. But you know what I'm saying? People can choose who they want to buy from. Not to say like you're in competition with everybody, but Anyway, so the next part is your target audience. So these are the people you reach. These are the people you reach. People you reach my target audience differently. Okay, so I made myself a little note. So your target audience is going to be the people that when you post, or who are the people that are buying from you typically. So for me personally, because of who I am as a person, a lot of my customers are moms. But when I was in college, a lot of my customers were moms who were in college. But typically I follow the whole like moms suit. It's kind of like where I lay at. So I'm going to reach young moms, older moms, anybody with grandchildren, pretty much people with kids, because I love to push the fact that our products are safe for uh, kids and pets, and that you can leave them on 24/7 and it's going to be fine, right? And so that's who my target audience is. So if I am making posts, I don't need to be talking about um, if my target audience is moms who are like home with their kids, I don't need to make my posts about people who are working in corporate America and how they can put Scentsy in their office, right? If I'm trying to get them to join my team or host a party, because that's not who I am. So I don't really know the verbiage of those people, but I can reach out to fellow moms. So my posts that I make, or when I go to events and stuff, that's what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to set up my stuff towards, so on and so forth. If you have questions, please ask them so I'm not just talking in circles. Okay, and so the next part is your core values. And so for me personally, I just use Scentsy, which is authenticity, generosity, and simplicity. Okay, and then your brand voice. So your brand voice is how you post, what response. Okay, so what you post. So your brand voice is going to be the type of post that you make. So if you have like an Instagram that's like black and white, and you're like being very like um not dark, but like the world is your place, right? And it's like a black and white photo of like flowers, right? You're gonna kind of probably gotta keep that energy on all your posts. And that might be very well what you do. You may have a bunch of black and white photos for warmers that you post. Like I don't know. But the point of it is that you want to keep it consistent. And so for me, I love fun, energetic, bright, happy photos. Like that's what I'm going to be posting about. Um, and so you need to see what your brand voice is. What do you like? What are you drawn to? Like I love green, red, and white, and black and browns. Like those are my favorite like colors right now. It was like hot pink and white, and before that it was a lot of purple. There was a lot of purple. And so you kind of like got to figure out like what your brand voice is. What are you wanting to post about? What do you want it to look like? And that will help you in the future when you go to make posts and you're like, I don't know what to post about. Well, start with what your brand voice is. What are you centered around? And then that could inspire you on what you want to post about. And then the next one is like what languages you can speak. So if you can speak multiple languages, and especially in Cincy, that's going to help you because you can reach across. We have all of our different regions. If you can speak that language, that culture's language. Sorry. All right. And so the next thing that you're going to do, and it's not even like that big of a deal. I didn't really focus on my competitors, but if that's going to help you hone in on what your skills are, then definitely do that. But I didn't personally. And some of the stuff in here you're going to find that we're not necessarily going to need because we are not just like a startup company. Like, yes, Scentsy is your business. Yes, you run it. Yes, you're doing the hard work for it, which is what my husband and I were just talking about earlier. I was like, you know what? People who go to work and they just like get to walk into their cubicle and sit there from 9 to 5, I feel like have it easier because if something breaks in their office and isn't working, they get to just call an IT guy and like, I'm going to lunch, fix it. You know, so you are everything for your business. So I'm not taking away from that, but just some of the stuff Scentsy has taken care of for us. And so that's a blessing. And then some of these other pages you'll find, they are kind of like a repeat. So still fill it out because this is what I tell my daughter all the time when I'm helping with her homework and she has a question. And she's like trying to figure out what 2 times X equals 4, right? So I'm not just going to tell her how to get to X. I'm going to make sure that she knows that 2 times 2 equals 4, right? So I'm going to take her back to the basics before I build her up into solving the problem. And that's going to help her across the board when she does all the other equations. Okay. And so I feel like this packet or this workbook is more so designed for that. It takes the big picture that we're in and it draws you in. You'll see that it gets more tedious and more tedious and more tedious as you go. And that's why the pencil is important, because as the questions get more, what's the word? As the questions get more detailed, your answer might change. And so then you'll want to erase what you wrote before to make it make sense now. Okay. So the next page, and we're only doing brand, okay? So we're not going to go past that. So we just have 3 more pages. We're keeping this light and simple. I know this is overwhelming. Don't worry about the rest of that unless you want to work forward. Go for it. All right, so the next thing that you have is your business name. So this is super exciting. This is kind of where I want you to dream big. So I have 2 business names personally, okay? I have my Beaches and Wax because I live at the beach and I sell wax. And so that is more so for my customers, for people who I am selling Scentsy to. And then we also have Legacy Scents. And that is our team name, right? So that deals more with my team. Those are 2 different businesses for me. I do different stuff for those different groups. And so I just did that. So for me personally, it's easier for me to have 2 different business names. But for you, you might just want one business name. It might just be your flippin' name, which is what my website is. It's always is and will always be heatherbullock.scentsy.us. But so this is kind of where you get to dream big, though. If you want to, you can either come up with what you want your brand name to be. So if you want to sell to your customers, like, do you want to do something punny like I did with Beaches and Wax? Or you can even like do your business name and do like dream. If you're not a director yet, you could dream of what you'd want your team name to be. And no, I'm not saying you're going to Scentsy tomorrow and you're going to email them your team name for when you promote to director, but this is just you dreaming and like having a goal that you can actually reach. And in the future, if that team name is taken, we can play with the words and make it so that it's close to it. So don't worry about that. All right, but so at the top, that's where you're going to put that business name. And then the next part is describe your product or services. So for, goodness gracious, this daggone flu is still kicking my butt. I erased it because I'm dumb. All right, so describe your product or services. You laughing at me? So for that, you can describe, so we have products that are beautiful and elegant and one of a kind, and they're unique and they're safe. All right, so whatever words that you would describe, as someone said, tell me about your warmers, like, or tell me about your products, like, what would you do for that? And then for services, like, they get me, I'm their service. They get me to, I can order it for them, I can package it for them, I can deliver it for them. I could put gift orders together, like your services that you provide. What would you do for your customers? Even if you're not doing it yet. Remember, this is not just what we're doing in our business now. This is our business planner. This is what we plan to freaking do. And we're putting it on paper so that we can make that happen. So I want you, as you're filling this out, this is you imagining and being the best version of yourself as you're writing this, right? Not just, oh, most of my business is here and it's small and it's not that big yet. No, screw that. Dream bigger, think bigger. What do you want it to look like? Okay? Because with pen and pencil, you can write whatever the heck you want to. All right? And then, so main customer group is what we were just talking about earlier, where we wrote our target customers. All right? So that's going to be my main customer group. As you can see, there's less lines here. So this is where you're going to really focus it on. So what did you write for your target customer, right? And so now we're going to narrow that down even more. So maybe for my target customer, I put parents, and I don't know, my brain's drawing a blank right now. But so then you're going to hone that in a little bit deeper. Okay. And then your main competitors. So honestly, one of your main competitors is also yourself, because you're going to be fighting yourself a lot. I feel like a lot of us self-sabotage way too much. So you can even put that for one of your competitors. And then it could be like, I don't want to say Walmart, but you can say more corporate jobs that they can just go there and buy it, because that might be more simple to them, even though the product sucks. And then another one could be another direct sales company, because when you're sponsoring and stuff, like, they can choose to join whichever direct sales they want to, but you want them to choose you, right? And then how you help people learn about your brand. And so what that question is not like, how are you going to learn about the colors that I use in my logo? No, That's not what that question means at all. By your brand, what are you selling? You should be a walking billboard for your business. When that's like wearing a Scentsy shirt, having purple hair, I don't know, having purple nails, putting decals on your vehicle so that when you're in line at school, they could see that your name is there. How you post on social media, what social media sites are you going to use? Um, how are they going to learn that you are a consultant? And also, it's through networking, I'll be honest with you. Um, and so that's where you're going to write there. And then your brand strengths. What are you good at? Well, I'm really good at getting my name out there. I'm going to make sure that it's on my decal. I'm going to make sure that I'm posting. I'm going to make sure that I'm wearing the t-shirts. Because I'm going to be honest with you, just posting one time on Facebook or just talking to one person isn't going to cut it. They need to talk to you in person, one-on-one, and it comes up that you're a Scentsy consultant, right? And we're going to get into our elevator pitch and stuff later, but that they talk to you in person and they know you're a consultant, and then you add them on Facebook and they're seeing your posts, right? Or no, you meet them in person, they know you're a consultant, and now you're both in the pickup line at school and they're behind you and they see your decal in the back of your vehicle. And now you've added them also on Facebook and they see your post about a warmer, and now they want the freaking warmer. But if you just told them you were a consultant, they probably weren't like, oh, give me a catalog, let me buy now. Sometimes that happens, but not typically. And then they see your decal, like, oh, that's a cool decal. Oh yeah, she takes her business seriously. Oh wow, look at this beautiful warmer. I totally want to buy it from her because she is a real business owner. This isn't just some thing she's doing on the side. I'm never going to hear from her again. Okay, so what are your brand strengths? And the next part is your brand descriptive words. I believe that I gave myself a note for that one. I was going to show you my screen on my descriptive words. Obviously, I can't do that right now. So these are going to be words that just sit well in your soul. You do not need to worry about if it is accurate. I just want you for this part to write down words that would fall along with your personality. Something that, like if I was like bah humbug, um, sad, grumpy, angry. Like those aren't things that are gonna fit who I am as a person. They may fit who you are as a person. I don't know. I'm not judging. I'm just saying who I am as a person. I'm gonna use words like energetic and happy and positive and inspirational quotes and self-improvement, empowerment, and encouraging. I don't know. Those are words that I can think of that can resonate with me, because then I'm going to take those words in the next one. And it wants you to best combination of descriptive words that tell your brand story. So that's where you're going to take those words and you're going to fit those words to who you are as a person. So if I'm doing energetic, I could say, when I love Scentsy because we have so many warmers that are so bright and beautiful and just make me feel energetic. They give a good vibe for the room. The scents make me bring a fragrance and make me feel inspired to start my day and make me feel good, you know? So you're going to take those brand descriptive words and you're going to formulate them into a sentence. And then honestly, you're going to pick like one or two that resonate the best with you. And then social media availability. This is just kind of where you need to check in on which of these social sites do I already have, which of them do I want, some that I may not. Like, I have a Pinterest. I don't really focus on my Pinterest though for my Scentsy post. I could. That's not really even in my vision board. For me personally, I don't foresee using Pinterest as something that's going to sell or push a lot of product for me and or bring in customers. However, where it says other, I would write TikTok, because I have found great success in utilizing TikTok. I don't use Twitter. I've tried it. It didn't work for me. I still don't freaking get it. So I get it. Older generation, like I can't do it. Instagram definitely, and Facebook definitely. So that's kind of where you can check in with yourself to see where you are at on your social media availability. I will say that you should at least have one. Even YouTube, that's where I post like my team trainings at. I don't use YouTube to reach customers. I used to show like training videos, but now we have Facebook Live that we just video with our phone and upload it easily. It wasn't that easy back then. So I'd use YouTube to show my customers warmers, but I don't need to do that anymore. So I mainly use YouTube as a training platform. Okay. And on the next page, we got 2 more pages. Hold with me. And the next one is like going to be super easy. So we have our business values is on the next one. So we have our business name, which we already described. So that could be, for me, Legacy Scents. My brand name could be Beaches and Wax. My tagline. So this is going to be like what you would sell. And this is I'm telling you, you're not just going to be able to think of it off the top of your head. It's going to take time. Okay. For me, I like to say, I can just tell you, it's so hard just to think off the top of your head. I put for my tagline as excuse me, leaving a legacy one fragrance at a time. See, like thinking off the top of my head, could have done that. But that is definitely what my tagline is. So leaving a legacy, which incorporates my team name, one fragrance, which is our warmers, at a time. Because let's be honest, if you run a successful business with Scentsy and you're working hard, you can pass that down to your children and you can pass it to their children. It can stay in your family, the business that you build. And when you build up leaders in your family with you, you can take them with you. I hope I can sell, or not sell. I hope one day that I can give my business to one of my daughters or my son if you wanted it. Like that is the goal, this is what I built. I want you to take it to the next level kind of thing. And so that's the legacy part of it. And also when we say legacy, like when you're leaving fragrances behind, like people are going to smell that for a long time. And when they do smell it, they're going to think of you, which is a great thing to happen, right? It's not a problem. So legacy scents, leaving a legacy one fragrance at a time. Okay. And our next thing is the target customers as they're coming in again. So for me, that's really bringing it in. I really focus my post and my attention and who I am around is moms and other young adults. Not that I'm that much of a young adult anymore. I'll be 30 on December 19th, y'all. But that's who my customer reaches. That will change as I grow and evolve as a different person. Our customer expectations. So right here, this is not. I don't want you to just write what you think the right answer is. I tell our kids all the time. Tell our kids that all the time. When we were running the youth group, I said it to them all the time. Stop telling me things that I can read about on my own, that I can open a catalog and I could see that. I need to see you as a person. What are my customers' expectations in me? For me, I put quality. The product needs to be quality. Thank God Scentsy handles that for me. If it's not, I make sure I replace it. For them, fast shipping, right? They don't want to take a long time to get. I had a hiccup with stamps.com and I about had a mental breakdown over it because I know that's what my customers want from me and I was not providing that. And because of that, I had to go on Canva, which we're going to talk about here in a second, and I wrote them a gift certificate, right? Because that's who I am as a person. And so the next part for a customer expectation, I put me. They expect me. They expect Heather, who Heather is as a person. They expect Summer, who Summer is as a person, who Tara is as a person. That's who they're buying from. That's who they want to see. Okay. The main products and services. So you have all these other products and services that you were talking about. So now we're going to really focus that in and you're going to tell me what is the main products that you're pushing, right? There is an entire catalog, right? There's a lot of products in there, but you don't necessarily use all the products. So you don't need to be telling your customers to use the Laundry Love when you're not using the Laundry Love. And so when they accidentally use too much of the laundry liquid and a little bit of those dots gets on their shirts because the laundry liquid is very potent, a little bit goes a long way. If you use too much, you're going to start to build a residue and you'll have to wash it a couple times in order to get that out. If you're not using the Laundry Love product, you're not going to know that and you're not going to know how to walk them through that. So that's why it is so important that you focus on what products that you're using and the services that you can provide with those. If you want to sell the $50 Laundry Love bundle, I highly recommend it. But that means that you yourself need to be using the Laundry Love bundle so that you can talk about it with them and help sell it because it's not really selling. That's like not even a good word to use for Scentsy. A lot of Scentsy is sharing what you're doing in your day-to-day life. That is why those who are on social media and they're being authentic and they're just sharing how they're using the product in a authentic way will get so many more sales than the person who's just posting the photo from Google onto their platform. I'm not saying I never do that. Sometimes we're in a crunch. But if you're trying to build up your algorithm and you're trying to build a relationship, you have to show who you are as a person, what you're using, what works for you, how you can help them when they come into an issue, right? Walmart's not going to answer the phone and walk them through that they may have used a little bit too much of the laundry love, right? So that's something that your competitor doesn't have on you, is you. That's what you have, right? Your unique selling propositions, we can all kind of use this, but what I do is that they are safe, right? You can leave them on 24/7. I go into a story where my kids, eight have tried at least all of the Laundry Love bundle. I'm not proud of that. I can tell that story for another time, but I've had to call poison control for all three of my children at least one time. But because of that product, they were fine. Um, Quality, we have the best warmers, the best wax, the best diffusers, oils, Laundry Love. And if it is not the best, they will take it off the shelf, they will revamp it, and then put it back on once it is the best. And they are beautiful. All of our products are just absolutely gorgeous. You can't find, I've looked, you can't find like that tree, right? That little Christmas tree. You can't find something that is as beautiful and as safe and has the quality. You can't. Um, the unique story behind your brand and why you started it. So I'm going to share mine, and I really encourage you guys to think about your own. So I said I joined as a college student at 19. I saw my friends and family ordering the products and needed to make an extra $300. That is the simplest reason as to why I joined. That's the story behind it. I saw I needed to make $300. Everyone around me was already buying it from Chloe, and I was like, I could just join instead of buying it from her. They could buy it from me because they're already doing it. That seems really freaking simple to me. I had no idea that it was going to turn into what it has now, but it did. And this is where we're at. But that is the story behind it. And it sounds so simple, but back then it was everything to me, right? And then the mission statement and mission statement plus 30-second elevator pitch. I didn't see the mission statement the last time. So you could use Sensei's mission statement, which is to bring the world value through authenticity, simplicity, and generosity. And my elevator pitch is and has been and probably will be for a while that I run a fragrance company out of my home. What do? I run a fragrance company out of my home. What? The point of your elevator pitch is that it's supposed to be like 30 seconds. And you want to cultivate it in a way that is going to make whoever you're talking to ask you questions, because you don't want to word vomit and just start talking about everything under the moon. Okay? So really think about your elevator pitch and what you could write to describe what Scentsy is for you. What do you do for a living? You need a 30-second sentence that you can say. And you can still mine if you would like to. I don't care. I would also recommend researching elevator pitches, looking into it. There's plenty of YouTube videos. There's so much that you can really drone in on that. But just think a 30-second sentence to describe my business. And you want to be fun and catchy. I run a fragrance company out of my house because it's literally what I do. Now, people are like, wait, what? What does that mean? What do you mean you run a fragrance company out of your house? So we get deeper into it. And they wrote the whole social media thing again. I don't. Again, some of the stuff on here you don't really need to. Okay, last but not least, this is our brand board. Right? I love how it looks. I can't wait to see yours. What I want you to do is to go onto Canva. And if you need help, I can do a separate video to walk us through. I'm not trying to go too far over on this video. I know everybody's time is important to me. But if you go onto canva.com and download the app, they literally have where they help you build what this is saying. So your watermark, your main logo, your alternate logo. So your watermark, I don't know if you want to focus on that or not. Basically, you just take, honestly, I guess your logo and you just dilute it down so it's more transparent. Your main one, which I use my face that I drew, and then my alternate one is my Legacy Scents one for you guys. So it's not really my alternate one. I would more so call that my personal and my team one, right? So you can change those names. And then your fonts, you can upload those logos to your Canva. And then you can set your fonts as well, so the ones that resonate with your brand. You know, if you're doing more of a gothic-y look, you're going to want to have more of a gothic-y font. If you're doing more of a Wizard of Oz, you're going to want to have more Wizard of Oz. Or if you're doing more Disney, you know, Disney keeps the same. Think Disney. That's a great way to think about your brand is what does Disney do? Not saying copy that, but when you're thinking about like what it means. Anyway, and they also, for the color palette on Canva, they'll take your logos and they'll tell you the exact colors so that when you are using it in the future to make your team postcards, to make posts on your social media, what have you, you can use the same colors over and over again so that when people see those things, they recognize not necessarily, oh, look at that color palette. She just keeps using the same one. I'm so impressed. No, when they see those colors, they're gonna think, "Oh, Heather. Oh, Scentsy. Oh, I needed bulbs. Shoot." You know, so that's kind of the point of it. So you can go on Canva and you can build all of that, which I love. Um, but yeah, so that is the end to our brand talk. So we're gonna talk next Wednesday, and we're gonna be talking on goals. Now, my goal for our next meeting is that it is going to be on Zoom, but I'll be able to share my screen. And I want to also be live on YouTube at this, or I want to be on Zoom and then live on our team page. And then I'm going to post it onto my my YouTube platform. And that's because I understand that we all are busy. We all have stuff to do, but I feel that this planner is important for you, not necessarily just because I want you to do anything other than what you want for your business. And I want you to have everything that you want. And I want you to dream big, and I want you to have a way to get there. Because there's nothing worse than being, I want to be a superstar director, but I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. Right? That's not going to work. So I hope that you take this planner seriously. Um, Join me next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Tell your friends. By friends, I mean your downline who are on this page. And hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I can't wait to hear your elevator pitches and to see your color palettes and stuff. So, bye, guys.